Hello, Dan Townsley here with another Furkot Pro Tips. Today we're going to talk about updates to the GPX tracks edit. So we're going to join some tracks and I'll show you how to clean them up after you join them. So I've got a couple of tracks showing here that are in the Find drawer, and what I'm going to do is select one and then join it to the following one. So this first track is going to join to the second. So normally what I do is come in and select the track I want. Here I'm using a set of tracks from Forest Service Motor Vehicle Use Maps database, and I'm going to select this track at the first track and then join it to the second track. So now I've selected the first track. I'm going to do what I normally do, which is route that track, and Furkot automatically adds it to the plan drawer as an off-road route, which is locked so that Furkot doesn't try and auto-route it on the roads. Now do the second track. Furkot does the same thing and joins these two, but the joining process actually creates an interim along road route, and this is this section right here, which has 0 length to it. But you can see the dot here on the road where it's trying to auto route between these two tracks. So the way to clean that up is to go in and select the area between these two tracks where it has 0 distance. Here I'm trying to show that these two tracks actually overlap a little bit, which is why this section is out here on the road and is kind of hard to see. But if I select it here, notice that it's not locked, or it's actually selected as or created as a on-road segment. I can see that by going in and adjusting my settings to show the advanced settings for my routes, which you always want to do if you're joining tracks and want to edit tracks. I do it as a default anyway. But here you'll see now I've got a number of features that I didn't have before in my route. Right now you see that it's a long road, follow roads, and what I want to do is set it to travel off-road, and that changes the route path to a locked route path, as you can see by the icon. And now to get that off of the road, all I have to do is go in and select the reset button. And when I do that, that section of the route between those two tracks becomes a point-to-point track segment, if you will. So now I can go back to my plan and I can literally just delete that section out, and my two track segments now will be joined. And I can just remove that data. If I try to remove that data before I change it to an off-road track or a locked track, it will try to reroute me along the roads and it will be a mess. So I need to make sure that I put it into a lock form. So here what I'm doing is playing around with this track joining area, and I really don't need to, because if I go into my settings and show pass-through points, I have no real pass-through points. If I let Furkot actually recalculate, if you will, their data, that little stub would disappear. But if you do have a track stub that you want to get rid of, I'm now getting back to where that little track stub is. The easy thing to do is, as I've shown in previous pro tip videos, is to, bear with me, I'm still getting back to that little stub. The easiest thing to do is to actually put stops on either side of the stub or track segment you want to get rid of while it's locked, and then simply delete or reset the section between those 2 points. So here's my little stub, and again I haven't let Furkot try to calculate or redo their data, but I can get rid of this by actually putting a point on each side of it and then resetting or deleting that section. And then I can delete those 2 points and I'll have basically a straight line between them. So here I'm going to put a point on one side, a point on the other, and you'll notice this distance is minuscule. And now I'm going to go in and select that segment. We've done this before in previous ones, and now I'm going to reset it, and presto, that little stub of track is gone. So now we can go in, and again, like I said, if we want to get rid of these pass-through points, we can do that. You don't really need to, but here now we have a clean joined set of tracks, one solid. So now I can continue on with my route plan. I can add more segments, or I can call it quits at this point. So I hope that helps you in your track joining edits, and if you have need of further help, check back here or check with me on ADV Writer. Talk to you next time.